bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's one of right, just like him.
I gave Ethan a heads up that Kyle Farmer was walking next to him. So
Yeah, be careful.
that guy was awesome, man.
Yeah.
It was probably a good thing.
Yeah.
What's this experience as a dad? The full circle nature of it.
It's awesome. I mean, it's very surreal to some degree. Just to see Ethan in Rockies uniform and out there taking batting practice and taking ground balls it's cool. I mean, it takes you back a little bit to when I was, recently drafted and got to come out here and work out with the team, and it's good motivation to want to get back here and be on the team. So it's been fun, obviously, catching up with a lot of people I know, and friendly faces, and great stadium, and beautiful place to be.
When you did your workout way many years ago, do you remember putting one deep like he did?
No, not those were impressive. I hit a few out, I think, but nothing like that. So I was impressed.
Yeah, what went through your mind? You hit one over the pennant banner out there in the third
that was
deck.
a far one. Yeah.
I mean, are you just thinking, oh my God, to be young, or what do you think?
I know he's got power. I pitched to him a lot, so I know it's in there. He's such a controlled kid. The first round, he's nice and easy. Like, I remember my first round, I was trying to hit it off the scoreboard from first pitch on. He's out there like getting loose and like stroking it, and then he started letting a few go. But no, I pitched to him enough. I know his ability. Some of those were a little further than I thought he would be hitting them, but I do know he has a lot of juice.
How do you balance protecting your kid and letting him loose and letting him figure it out?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great kid. I don't have to. I guess, I think just letting him help me know how much he needs or wants from me as far as coaching or instruction or help or certainly experience. And there's nothing that you can replace experience with. So a lot of it is getting out here and getting experience and seeing the caliber of arms that you see every day. So that's going to be something that I can't necessarily give him. But as far as other things that I can relate to that might be able to help him, just be a dad. Try to help him in any way I could if he was doing this or any other endeavor, or if he was in college. But I think it's a I think that's just kind of a feel thing on a day-to-day basis, what he needs.
When you were playing for us, did you kind of put on your scout projection cap saying, well, I can see where he's headed here? Or were you just dad watching it?
Yeah, I always watch with an eye for, I don't think you ever cannot watch from a sort of, not a critical eye, but just when things don't go good, why, and when things do go good, why. But yeah, I try to just sit and enjoy watching the game, watching my son do what he loves to do. But I think, to some degree, you always watch a game when you've played for a long time of what might be helpful or what he's doing really well, or what things we can work on this offseason. So, yeah, I watch it a couple different ways, I think, in general.
It's your second time going through this. Having done it with Jackson, is there anything that you learned from that experience that you're doing differently this time around with Ethan? Or?
Not really. I think that they're both different personalities. Yeah. They're very different in the way that I parented them growing up. I think they're, my conversations with both of them are very different. Yeah. And I think that from being a dad, I think that they like to be parented or coached differently. So I think that's always something as a dad that you're trying to, whatever message you want to get across to your kids, it may take different methods. So I don't think that there's anything that I would say that I messed up with Jackson that I certainly wouldn't want to mess up with Ethan. But I know how hard the game is. Yeah. And so I think the perspective of understanding how hard baseball is, I can come from a place of understanding when you have a bad game that maybe others might not be able to. So I feel like I handled that pretty well.
So Matt, piggybacking on that, that baseball is a game of failure and a game of learning lessons, particularly when you're a young kid. When he runs into that, Ethan runs into, how do you think he's equipped to handle it? Do you feel good about how he's going to come through that process?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something we've talked about, and even with Jackson and him, I think those are conversations and preparation that happen over the last 2 or 3 or 4 years, and certainly you don't have that necessarily in high school to that degree, but the mental part of the game is extremely important. How you handle failure and how you bounce back, and the process and how you deal with results and controlling what you can control. And so we spent a lot of time discussing that and talking about that. So it's not easy, but I think he's prepared as much as an 18-year-old can be prepared for that. I mean, a lot of it is you have to go through it to experience it, to deal with the emotions and the mental part of it.
So, Matt, your kids didn't want to play outfield?
Well, you know, I didn't really want to play outfield either. I just was not good enough at third base, so they moved me to the outfield. So, no, they both just grew up playing shortstop. You know, they taking ground balls in major league stadiums with the shortstops. They just kind of always wanted to be shortstops. Obviously, Jackson has shifted over to second with Gunner. But, yeah, I mean, they never played outfield. I mean, they like to shag BP, so, you know, when they were younger, so they could probably go out there, but, yeah, they're pretty good infielders.
Are there areas where you've already seen him grow when he's been in Arizona and Fresno?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the experience of facing professional pitchers and older kids and guys with great arms, you know, in 6 days in a row of guys throwing mid to upper 90s. There's, like I said, there's nothing that you can replicate that besides experience. So I think it's been good. He's learned and is learning, and the more you see that kind of stuff, the more comfortable you are with it.
So Matt, you and Eric Karros are part of an elite fraternity of former baseball players who have sons who are now in the Rockies. Have you talked to Eric?
I haven't, but I'd like to. I know Eric a little bit, but we have not visited recently. But I talked to his son earlier. He's super kind, nice kid. Yeah, that's cool. I like Eric a lot. We have Robin Ventura, him and I are close, and he and Eric are close. So we have Robin as a mutual friend. But yeah, I'd be happy to talk to him.
Matt, I know you dipped your toe into the coaching waters before deciding you wanted to be there for Jackson and Ethan through this process. Now that they have entered pro ball, what are your feelings on getting back into coaching, maybe on a big league staff? Yeah,
it's tough because the day-to-day grind of a big league staff is a lot, and the flexibility to be able to go and watch Jackson play, and then now be able to fly to Fresno, you know, a couple weeks ago and watch Ethan play, and then be at my daughter's football game that she's cheering at, and then my son's game on Saturday. Those are all things that they're really hard to give up. You know, it's you know, I have a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old. They're still at home. That I want to be part of their lives in a very intimate way of being able to be with them and their stuff. So I don't think now is the time. I think, again, I wouldn't rule it out forever, but I'd like the flexibility of having free time to go and travel. And if Jackson called and said, hey, I need you to come help me for 3 days with my swing, or, you know, I just, you know, whatever, I like the flexibility to be able to do that.
How meaningful was it for you to be able to come back to the Rockies for your second stint here, and especially now that Ethan's here, to have had that experience?
Yeah, it was really, 2018 was really special for me to finish my career that way. That was something that, you know, it was meaningful, and I've always loved the organization. And, you know, I spent my first 10 years in pro baseball here, 5 in the minor leagues, 5 in the major leagues, and then to come back and finish my career here, and then now have Ethan get drafted here. I have a love of this organization, and the Cardinals, I would say, is the other organization that I love. But it was a great opportunity. I'm thankful for that opportunity.
Just being back here, seeing Ethan taking some swings out there, does it make you want to get out and take some swings?
Yeah, I had my hip replaced 6 weeks ago, so my heart of wanting to do that and my ability to do that are unaligned currently. But I did. Jackson, the Orioles had a father-son trip in Dallas, probably about 6 weeks before I had my hip surgery, and they let the dads take BP in Dallas, and so I did jump in for my turn and hit a few out. So I felt good about that. But currently, I'm in no position to take a swing.
You took BP, which is like regular dads?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Any other dads hit one out?
They had a towel they were putting in the outfield for the furthest ball hit by a dad. And I had showed up, I was one of the last ones to get there because I actually had a hip appointment with the doctor that did my surgery. And so I came late, and they had the towel about 280 feet out there. And so I felt good about my chances of surpassing that. But I hit one. I hit a couple pretty far that actually I didn't think I could still do. But adrenaline kicked in with the whole team's watching me, and I'm the last one to go. And they had high expectations for what they might see. So I hit some in pretty far in Dallas. But yeah, all I had to beat from the other dads was about 270 feet.
Did they eliminate you from the competition? Saying, okay, the farthest dad, not Holliday.
I don't know if they had a reward for it, but it was cool. It was cool to kind of get a chance to be out there with the other guys' dads, and I felt like that's the last time I've taken a swing.
That's awesome. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
The spirit is willing.